What is up, everybody? We've got not one, but two world champions on the show tonight. One of them did a feat that has never, ever been done before. But before we get to all that, Ty, play that 3-minute intro, sir.
Smokers, and you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show.
I'm Phil Breeden, owner and founder of LC Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show.
This is Bill Purvis with Chicken Fried Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show. Boom.
What is up, everybody? Did you see how difficult Bill Purvis was being with his video? My producer, Ty, is always on it. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys very much. You know what time it is. It's a little after 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, and you know where to be. That is right here, watching the very best barbecue show on the planet. You're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show. I am your host, Robert Rocha, and I'm coming to you from the Bullhorn Barbecue headquarters in Cypress, Texas. Damn glad you were watching. However you are watching, some of you guys are on Twitch. I already saw one guy on Twitch. A lot of you guys are on Facebook, and quite a few guys are on, and gals and guys are checking us out on the YouTube. So thank you very much, however you are doing it. You know that I ask you to share this. Let's get some love for this show, for the people that are on the show. Speaking of the people that are on the show tonight, Producer Ty is doing his job, as always, back in the background. Let's give a shout-out to Producer Ty real quick. What is up, Producer Ty? How are
What's
you,
up,
buddy?
good gang?
Thank you for doing what you do, brother. We appreciate that. And we're going to drop him down. He'll be back a little later in the show. But tonight, we've got a special co-host tonight. He's back again. My good buddy, Chris Schafer from Heavy Smoke Barbecue. He'll be on tonight. We're talking KCBS. We got the big American Royal coming up next week. So lots going on with the American Royal. A lot of KCBS talk. We've had a couple. We've had the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic that just came through. Next week, we got the big American Royal. A lot of us are heading up to Kansas City. And if you haven't done that event, please put that on your bucket list. That is one that you definitely want to attend. And if you haven't, like, we're going to be talking some KCBS. So, you know, bank the information. There's going to be a lot of good information here that's going to be flowing tonight because we have a special treat. This guy doesn't do a whole bunch of interviews that I'm aware of, but we're going to have Grant Basiliere. And I think I said that right. Maybe not. He'll correct me here in just a little while. But Grant is from Que-U. He did a feat that has never, ever been done in the 40, I think we're in the 42nd or 43rd year of the American Royal. He won the Invitational on Saturday, which is, you know, to be in the Invitational, you have to have a grand championship. So everybody that's there has won a grand champion throughout the year or two, however they're doing it right now. But then he followed that up with the Open with over 500 teams that everybody can do the Open on Sunday, and he GC'd that. So it's never been done before. We'll talk to Grant about that. But before we get to any and all of that, I want to give a shout out to Christian Contreras. He is in the comments right now. There he is right there. I tried to download the videos right now, but there he is. Let's go. What's up, Gooder Gang? Y'all have talked. Y'all have heard me say his name. This guy is a loyal watcher, a loyal listener to the show. He was in a tragic accident, probably, I don't know, Christian, 9-10 months ago. Very, I saw the photos of the accident. He was in a major accident, but he is recovering. He's been going through some surgeries and whatnot. He's a loyal listener and watcher of the show. I always give a shout out to Christian. He is on the mend, and he just competed last weekend. He did a competition last weekend. His girlfriend, Janessa, he had his last surgery August 8th. And then he competed this past weekend. Wearing the So Smokin Gooder Show shirt. I wish I could put this picture up there, and I will next time. But man, it's great to hear about his recovery and what he's doing out there. So shout out, Gooder Gang. Give some love to Christian and what he's doing out there. He's overcoming a lot of obstacles, and he's back there competing. So it's always good to see people that are on the mend for sure. Christian, thank you very much. And while I'm at it, let's give some shout outs to the Gooder Gang right now. Carlos Calzada. What's up, Gooder Gang? Hope everybody's having a great day. He was first in, and not far behind him, Daddy Dutch. You got to love it right there. And of course, we had Christian Contreras third. Josh Criddle, what is up? Armando from Los Milagros Q Crew. There he is right there. Judge Webb, what is up? Jared McCrory from Barefoot. Thank you very much. Tony Tanache is asking for the link. We'll see, Tony. Michael Sistrunk's in the house. Rusty Pig. Kevin Hernandez coming off another GC. We'll say his name a little later in the show. Taz checking in from Twitch. I tell you, people, we do have some Twitch people. ZZ Top Fan, I'm still curious. I have no idea who this is, but he's watching all the time, and I love it. Jen Lee coming off a successful Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. What is up, Jen? How are you? Mo Lee Harden. I will say his name a little later in the show. Congratulations. Larry Vaughn, afternoon from South Jersey. Thank you. Chris Davis. What is up, Chris Davis? Everybody's favorite Marine. There he is. We got Brandon Perryman. We got Corby Simpkins. We got Uwe Braun. I will say his name again. What is up, Goofed? Gang, I think that was I don't know. It could work. Maybe he's talking about us. Super safe travels and good luck to everyone heading to Kansas City. Candy Baines. What is up, Candy? How are you? Serge, checking us out. Darren Thurman. I think I'll be saying your name a little over show. Mark Suarez. What is up? I love you, Rob. Thank you very much. Fire the producer? Never. Randall Johnson in the house. Smoking Magic. I think that's Bree checking in. What's up, Bree? Luis Coronado, Ruth, Sweet Ruth checking in, Buzzed Barbecue, Chris Goodman, Alonzo Cantu. I will be saying his name a little later in the show. I love it. All the GCs and RGCs checking in. James Pavia doing the party of the year again. No, I will not be doing party of the year again. I got to concentrate on why I'm there, and that is the competition. Ricardo, what is up? Raul Gonzalez, RG3. There he is. Bobby Davis. What's up, sweet Bobby? How are you? Leonard Love. Let's go. We're getting close there. Why is your beard more gray? I don't know, bro. They come in and they bring friends. I can't help it, bro. It just happens that way. Randy Salinas, what is up? Mike Reyes, what you smoking? I'll be saying your name as well. Oscar G3, what is up? Triple Threats Vets Podcast. You guys aren't checking that out, please do. Matt Carr, getting close to the end here. And Dason Miller, what is up, Dason? All right. Shout out to the Gooder Gang. Thank you guys for being loyal watchers and listeners. We appreciate it so much. You have no idea. Thank you guys. You guys are what make this. We got 55,000 people watching, and we just started the show. All right, let's bring in our co-host of the evening. And that is, you guys know who this is, Mr. Chris Schafer. He won the Jack Daniels Invitational. He is a big-time competition barbecue cook, mainly kicking in the KCBS, but he's dabbled in CBA. He's come here to Texas and dipped his foot in the water, his toes in the waters, and he's a well-rounded cook. And I was leaning on him at the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. What is up, Chris Schafer? How are you, buddy?
What's up, brother? I feel like I'm like the honorary Texan down there. Like, you guys have really let me in.
I mean, kind of. You're a Cowboy fan, so we still can't get over that. Me, personally, a lot of people are Cowboys fans, but you know how
I was born in Texas, but I was in one of those comps and I said I was born in Arlington, and a guy said that's not Texas. So
no, that is South Oklahoma. Hey, but speaking of which, we will travel through Oklahoma coming up. How have you been, man? What's new with Heavy Smoke Barbecue?
Not much, man. I'm not cooking a lot this year, taking it kind of easy, not points chasing, and it feels great. Last weekend my daughter turned 10 and I got to spend the whole weekend with her, and my buddies are out there cooking all over, and I'm watching the awards, but it felt good just to be home with the family.
How does that feel? Not having that urge to, or is the urge there, or is it just, are you feeling like weird on a Saturday and you're just
it's not at all. I mean, previous years, he just called Chris round. He did. I am round. I'm in shape. Previous years, man, like I'd take one weekend off. You cook 10 weekends in a row. I'd take one off. I'd be itching. I'd be sitting there watching awards somewhere like, damn, I should be there. I haven't had that at all this year, man. It's been great.
What's up, Belle? How are you? So it is nice. I've done that a few times where you're just sitting there and you get some stuff done around the house. You can kind of regroup, refocus, and watch awards on Saturday. That's always fun, seeing who all, when you don't have any skin in the game, right? You're just kind of checking it out and seeing who's going to win that week.
I think that's one of the, I always say Facebook's one of the worst things to happen to barbecue just because of all the griping and complaining. But I think one of the best things is live streaming of awards. I love that even like on the drive home from a comp, I can watch all of my buddies.
I was told at a wedding recently for Corbin and his lovely wife Blaze. They were they were watching awards during the reception, right? Not during the wedding, but during the reception. Everybody had some phones to their ears checking out who won and whatnot. So
I don't always watch those CBA awards unless I've got like a 10-hour drive, because your awards take forever.
I mean, they're a little shorter than IBCA where they're calling numbers, but
that is true.
When you got music, and for the most part, if you learn who the people are, you know who they, as soon as the music plays, you know who it is. But no, it is fun to watch that and to see that from afar, especially if you're not cooking. But you're definitely taking a concerned deal to just not cook every week, right? So.
Well, I know I was getting used to the music when I was down there, and I told my dad we cooked New Caney, I think it was, and Eddie Morales' music went off, and I was just like, "You're going to hear this a lot." Like, I hadn't even met him or talked to him yet, but I knew the music.
Hi, Michelle, love that girl. She is she's the big time. The whole, are the head judges down there? I don't know what they call them, but she is the main boss at the Memphis in May. Michelle again. Chris, are you doing anything different? Oh, okay, we'll get to that. That's started. Danny Regan's already in. He's like, hey, I don't want to hear all the fluff. I want to know. Let's get to the nuts and bolts. All right, Levi Stokes in the house. Damn, am I late again? Yes, you are a little bit. You're a little bit late, but all good. All right, Chris. So, we talked about, why we're here. We're going to do a KCBS show. A lot of these guys, as you did, this is like your third or fourth or fifth or sixth time to be on the show now, which is awesome. I appreciate you doing it each and every time because you bring a lot of insight. You bring a lot of experience and know-how to do these KCBS events. And a lot of us are going up to the Royal. Anything, we talked about it last year. I remember you being on the show and I asked you the same question. I'm going to ask you again. Is the Royal just another contest to you, or is it something special that you have to prepare for or load up any extra things, or how do you approach the Royal as an experienced KCBS cook?
I think you have to go in as it's just a normal cook, right? Like you gotta do what got you there kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't, holding the best meat for it. And I wasn't buying 5 briskets to trim 2 kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think you got to take, your best stuff in there. I'll tell you this though, if you cook 16-pound briskets every week, don't go in there with a 24, you know what I mean? Like, so, everyone takes their best meat and, you're going up against a guy like Brad, who's going to have the best meat he can find. So you can, make sure you have good stuff. But other than that, man, just cook your cook and let the chips fall where they may.
What I love about the Royal, it is a family reunion. It's like, so everybody from all over, you see, different regions or different, we got Memphis region, we've got the KCBS, we got CBA, IBCA down here. And I know I'm sure I'm missing a few of them, but everybody converges in Kansas City. It is central. It's in the middle of smack dab USA, and it's great to have everybody that comes down there because it is a big party. It's a big, that if you can get there early on Wednesday. Thursday is just basically social days, right? We're all setting up and doing our things, but for the most part, we're hanging out and we're getting to see these people that we don't get to see throughout the year. And it's just a fun event. So that's the one thing I want you guys to do. If you're going to the Royal, get there early and have some fun out there and meet the people, because there are parties. We're going to have, I didn't mention earlier on the show, but we're going to have Chris Carter later in the show. He's doing a big Hog-a-Palooza and a steak event. So there's all things going on. Our good buddy with Blues Hog is going to be having a huge party out there on Thursday night. So
we're trying to figure out how much you pay Bubba Sparks to play at the Royal.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Bubba Sparks, the hillbilly rapper, was going to be out there. He'll be out there at the Blues Hog party with Tim Shear and everybody involved with that. So there's lots to do, and there's a lot of events and a lot of demonstrations that happen throughout the Royal. So it's different, right? It's not the same contest that you go to each and every week. It is different. It's a contest that has all the fluff and all the pageantry. It's a really big deal. So
it's literally the only comp where you can like walk down a row of trailers and be like, here's my Michigan friends, and then here's my Texas friends, and here's my Tennessee friends. And I mean, it's the only competition you can do that. It's pretty amazing.
It is. And then if you guys have not put it on the bucket list, do it. I know a lot of people here watching are going to be there, and I can't wait to get back there. It'll be our 6th year for us to go.
And I think it's my 6th year, actually.
Yeah, it's 2016 was my first year. Maybe it's 7 year. I don't know. I can't count.
I will tell, if there's Texas cooks going for the first time, or there's anybody here that hasn't really been, like, I would say
happy birthday, Case.
There you go, buddy. 40, right?
He's 40.
Yeah.
Hairline says other, but he is actually 40.
I think where I missed the mark the first few years is like not knowing people and like being scared to talk to people. And I think, if it's your first year, second year, man, like don't be afraid to walk up at the Tuffy Stone if he's not busy and introduce yourself. And, some of these guys that you look at as like icons, like they're so cool, man. And like, that's like the way to have the best experience. So you come home and be like, dude, I talked to Tuffy Stone. I talked to Sterling Ball. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to do that stuff.
And they're all holding shop, right? So yeah, go up there and do that, especially if, obviously not on Saturday or whatnot, when they're in their element and cooking. But if you're there early on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, go up and say hi, man, because they're, they started out just like everybody else, right? They didn't start out as a world champion or this, TV personality. Everybody started out barbecuing, at the same, everybody has an origin story. So yeah, like you said, that's a good advice. Because I've seen people that, are out there. I was like, man, that's kind of cool. He's right there. Right. And but just go up and say hi. They're going to be just as friendly as you think they would be for the most part. I hope that stands true, but I think it does. Anyway, be sure to walk. No, don't do that. Don't go to Phil Breeden's trailer right before turn in. Case did that and got promptly kicked out. But like I said, don't go on Saturday or Sunday when everybody's busy.
I'll invite anybody but Brian Fox to come say hi.
Do you even know Brian Fox?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There it is. Sarah Ann, what's up, Gooder Gang from Chemo Savvy Barbecue?
You said, do you even know Brian Fox?
I'm just wondering. Holy crap. I talked to Chris Schafer. There it is right there. Yeah.
That's why I said it. He's a good dude.
Okay.
We like to talk trash.
I tuned in for Grant and I got to look at Chris. Oh shit. I did it.
Oh my God.
Tuned in for Grant.
All right. I'm logging off.
Don't do that.
Call me Case.
Don't do that. All right. So we're going to be talking a lot of KCBS. Chris, thank you so much for doing this.
Yep.
Before we get Grant in, if Ty can play our sponsor spot before we get this whole show rolling, and we'll get it in. Chris is going to put on his co-host duties. Here we go. Shout out to the supportive and outstanding sponsors. Rectag, Smokin Magic, Cosmos Q Products, KNR Pipeline Services, Race Crew Drum Smokers, Barbecue 321 Podcast, Texas Oil Dust, LC Barbecue, Pinkerton Texas Pit Barbecue, Frisco Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, War Pig Barbecue, Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, Chicken Fried Barbecue Grind, Navy SEAL Danny Dietz Memorial Classic, Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics, Texas Original Charcoal Products, Got Your Six Culture, We Branded Promotions, and the Barbecue Store in Hempstead. Thank you for supporting the So Smokin Gooder Show. We have the best partners and supporters that support this show. Case Hahn cracking me up. He's like, I'm done. I called you Case. He's out. I'm done.
I like how you called me Case and we're both offended.
Exactly. But shout out to Case Hahn. Happy birthday, Case Hahn. 40th birthday, my man. Case was the OG co-host of the So Smokin Gooder Show.
I can't believe he can't find something better to do on his birthday.
His birthday was actually 2 days ago, but he claims birthday week. So I did that. And before we get Grant on, we got to give a shout out on his birthday for this video. Changing PSA, hey, we're gonna have some cold weather. Hey, speaking of weather, I checked out the weather, 80 degrees, 60s and lows. It's gonna be great next weekend, sunny. All right, let's bring him on real quick. We're talking about Grant Basiliere. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but again, talk about that, Chris, before we bring him on. What an accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean,
grand champion on Saturday. Never in the history of the American Royal has that ever been done, and I don't think it can be done again.
No, I mean, I'll make this super short, but the first day he wins, and I give him this giant bear hug and just tell him I'm proud of him and congrats and whatever. The second day, I thought it was Joe. I really thought it was Joe. They called him third, and we're sitting around.
Everybody thought it was Joe that day.
Yeah, we're all sitting around and like, it's third. And I turned to my buddy Brian Payton, meet me in St. Louis, and I said, could it be Grant? And he was like, no, not 2 days. I'm like, dude, I think it could be. And they called his name. And so when I give him the hug next time, I just said, dude, you are the baddest MFer in the world right now. His face was just like, he didn't even know what had happened, man. It was insane. But I called it. I was like, could it be Grant? And they were like, no way.
Oh my God. What's up, James, Anna, Chris Davis, Robert Burnett. All right. Let's bring him on right quick. right now we're talking about somebody that has never done in the history of the American Royal what he did. What is up, Grant? Thank you for being on the show. And welcome to your debut appearance on the So Smokin Gooder Show. Basiliere, did I say that? Okay. Perfect. How do you say it in French?
Basiliere. No.
There it was. Basiliere.
Ratatouille in there.
I told him earlier I did take a 7th grade French class for a semester. When they make you do like French and Spanish and German, and then you have to pick one. So I did the 3 months of French. So yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about that day real quick before. No, let's back up. Introduce yourself. Where are you from? When did you get into barbecue?
I'm originally from, because I love shout out Pennsylvania. I'm originally from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
So I moved out here in 12 or 13, kind of off and on in northern, like Chicago, like suburbs, Gurnee. I work in Wisconsin, and I started barbecuing in 17. So competition barbecuing.
So I did some research, and I know you're an executive chef for Uline, right? Uline, for those who don't know, is a they supply a lot of supplies, right? That's a supplier of supplies, right?
Yeah. Their corporate headquarters just north of the border in Wisconsin. So I got a 14-minute drive up to work, and that's where I go Monday through Friday.
How'd you get into that? How'd that happen for you?
Lucked out. I was at a country club in the area, and just kind of. They wanted to start some different kind of,
yeah.
They wanted to just bring some new blood into the company, and me and my executive chef, one of my best friends, we took the job and we built a crew, and now we have a crew of about 35, and we feed a ton of people a day, breakfast and lunch, but have off on the weekends, so it leaves me for sports and barbecue. So I'm good.
How awesome is that? How many employees are employed at Uline there? What's up, bitches? What's up, Aaron?
It's like 12. I think right now we're doing up in Pleasant Prairie, we're doing close to probably about 1,800 a day.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and they eat well. It's a good group up there, and they're great to us, and we try to be just as good back. So very lucky.
So you talk about how to become a chef. Well, talk about your origins. Did you like love cooking as a kid or whatnot? Because my kid loves doing it. He's been involved in barbecue. He's won a couple contests, and he's like, I want to be a chef one day.
Oh yeah, that's great. Oh, it was just kind of cooking growing up for sure. I mean, parents cooked and did the whole nine. Nothing to what I'm doing these days, but there was pizza shops and small restaurants in my area, and that's all I ever done. That's all my friends have ever done. So at 14 years old, that's when I started dishwashing and prepping and the whole nine, and that's all I've ever known. So I just stuck with it and loved it. So it's not like I'm going to work. Sometimes it's going to work, but typically we're just going and doing what we love. So I'm pretty lucky.
Warn your kid, Rob, that most chefs don't get a 9 to 5 during the day. Like Grant, he's got kind of the dream gig for chefs.
Oh, for sure, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
I feel bad even bringing it up to some of my friends, and like my buddies down in Florida, and in March where they're just working 85 hours a week, and I'm just watching basketball on the weekends. I feel horrible. So
your friends are like, I worked 16 hours a Saturday, and you're like, cool. I hung out with my kid.
Yeah, no shit. It's pretty amazing. Still not used to it. 9 years into it, still not used to it.
So 9 years in, we love talking about origin stories. How did you learn about this competition barbecue world? Did you have some events in there? How did that happen with you?
So first taste of competition barbecue, I was actually working at a club, and we had Tuffy, we had Johnny Trigg, we had some guys come in and do these private events, and I didn't know what competition barbecue was. And it turned into me kind of helping them out, getting them set up, the whole nine, and really didn't catch on to it until I had my job at Uline, and there was a local event, and there was a flyer for some reason. I don't know who brought it to me. It was like, why not just go ahead and try to sign up? And, I had no idea what I was doing. I think the first time I learned about competition barbecue, I think I watched All Things Barbecue on YouTube, like this Tom.
Oh, love that guy. He's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of
on Yoders. Love him.
Yeah. I kind of took some notes from him, and I had some drums, and just kind of did some practice runs before we did it, and just said, just went out and did it, and didn't do horrible. Did all right first couple times, and then as soon as you start doing a little better, it just catches you, and you just want to keep on doing it. And so 17, I just saw a flyer for a local competition and just did it.
How'd that go? First one.
I got a 6th place chicken call on my first comp. So, and then we turned around and we won pork on my second comp, and then that was it. Now I was just like, I gotta do this.
Yeah, it's over after that.
Yeah, this is amazing. And then just kind of leveled out, and then it was fun. Just hanging out with all these guys and learning new techniques, and it's pretty awesome.
You said you had some drums. I know you're a Gateway guy now. Were you on Gateways back then, or homemade drums, or what was it on?
Just Gateways, yeah. At the club where I started, we had a big old Lang I worked on forever. I'm familiar with Jambos, with Tuffy being here and Johnny being here, but it was actually Tuffy who we asked because I wanted to get into it, and he was like, I mean, that's when Shake and Bake and all these guys were just getting after it, and all they were doing was winning. It's like, well, why don't you get some drums and learn how to cook on drums? So that's what I did.
Drums are a game changer for me. Whenever I was cooking on offset, and I loved it. It's great, and there's plenty of flavors that happen with it. Oh, my dogs are crying over here for an offset. But to me, the drums have changed the way I cook and the way, the flavor profiles of what we turn in and whatnot. And to me, it's just it's a great tool for everybody that's out there. And I'm seeing more and more, Chris, as you see these all the time in competition barbecue. It's really come on the scene probably 3-4 years ago, but now it seems like everybody, you can go in any camp and find a drum.
Well, I'm in drum country, so like
you are,
Tim's 30 minutes. Tim's 30 minutes from my house, so like, we started and we were like, oh crap, is that somebody got a stick burner over there? Like, what's wrong with that guy? You know what I mean? Like my area is drums for sure.
Drums are what we run. Yeah, drums are So you were introduced to the drums, obviously, and are you still cooking on that? What's your arsenal right now, Grant?
Yeah, no, they're 4 drums. I do have an offset in my garage that I love to cook on. I've been tinkering with it, thinking about doing competitions with it, but I really enjoy cooking on drums for competitions. It's
what's your home offset? Is that an outlaw?
I got an outlaw patio.
Oh, beautiful!
So I pull it out for neighborhood parties, and things is great looking, and they love to, so Halloween I'll pull it out and we'll do pork shoulders and neighbors will come over, but most comfortable with cooking on drums, that's for sure.
It's funny because I have an outlaw in the backyard too, so it's like we're drum guys but love that stick burner.
I certainly do, for sure.
That's a sexy rig, those outlaws. They're good looking showstoppers for sure.
They are very nice.
All right, so let's fast forward a little bit. 17, you kind of started and whatnot. But when was like one of your most memorable wins early on in the Que-U?
Early on, I think it was when we first reserved. I don't know, a couple of years in, and my wife started tearing up, and I'm like, babe, just no. There's no crying in barbecue. Like she got super emotional, and I just remember that for sure because we haven't reserved or grand, but the reserve was pretty special, and that was a competition that was only about 20 minutes from my house, which we used to have 6 of them. About like 20, Kenosha, Winthrop Harbor, McHenry, all these. The only one that we have left now is Union Grove, but we used to have all these local ones from my house, and they're all gone. So the local ones were super special to me. I'd love to win Union Grove at some point in my career because it's so local and all my friends are there. But it seems like I do worse when more people show up. But no, that was pretty special. And we got a second place call down in Murfreesboro, I think my second year or something, in pork. And we got apple. My wife, she went to school down there. So that was pretty special for us too. So the Winthrop Harbor Reserve, and then it wasn't a first place, but it was a second place apple,
James,
and I'll take it. So that was pretty special.
Bill thinking going all pellets. I don't know. That's a bold strategy, Cotton, but hey, it works for a lot of people right there. All right, so
Grant started getting hot like about the time I switched to KCBS. I was 2019 to 2020, and me being St. Louis and him being where he's at, you cross paths quite a bit. And I remember seeing him on all drums, tearing it up, and I was doing all right too. And I was like, all right, I got to chase this guy around, I guess.
No, I was chasing you around and still chasing you around.
There's a question right there. Chris Davis, Grant, will you please make pizza at the Royal? First he said, are you going to make pizza? Now he's asking, he's begging now. Will you please make pizza at the Royal?
That's tough because I have a request next weekend to make pizza too. And then the Royal, right now I just got a new trailer and I'm just trying to fit it in. And I'm just trying, it seems like when I just got this new trailer, I'm trying to figure it out and just bring as less as I need. And with pizzas, there's so much stuff I need to bring and dirty it up. I'm going to try. I know definitely if anybody wants to come out to Union Grove in Wisconsin, I am cooking pizzas all night Saturday, but it's going to be tough for me to bring pizzas out to the Royal and stretch dough and just get after it. But I owe Chris something. He's bringing me HEB butter tortillas to the Royal. I will have carne asada, but it will already be done, and all I have to do is warm it up via microwave or a saute pan. But
what day is that?
Thursday night. Yeah, that will already be done in a bag, and I don't have to do much. All I need is Chris to bring those butter tortillas. Which
how do you know about those butter tortillas, bro?
I was in Houston, and Chris let me use his rig. I was a partner next to Chris or a Schafer. Yeah. And Davis let me use his rig, and then next to us was Fred, and his boys were out there just cooking down, just simmering down brisket.
He's a party at Que-U, baby. He already done. We're having it.
But
I'm cooking Lunchables.
But yeah, they were cooking down this carne asada, and I had one of those butter. I've never really been to Texas, and I ate it, and it just tasted like a quesadilla. I'm like, what is going on with this thing? I've never had so much fat in a tortilla in my life without any fat, you know. And there was like, it's a butter tortilla. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. It was perfect with salsa verde and beef. It was awesome. So, and I haven't had one since. So I actually have a friend going down to San Antonio this week, which is she's actually driving, bringing us back tortillas. And then I have Chris Davis bringing us tortillas at the Royal. So
you fell in love.
We're at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo, where there's a million things to look at, and Grant wouldn't stop talking about the butter tortillas.
They're so good. They are good.
I would open up a Mexican restaurant before I would open up a barbecue restaurant.
Smart man, very smart.
The mixed ones are great too. Anna says, yeah, they are. I can vouch for those as well. Just when they can get, there you go, whiten it up. Hey. We said tortilla. We said it right. Anyway, so both of you guys, I want you guys to answer this question. Chris, you've been to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo a few times now. Grant,
first time.
That was okay. And
yeah.
Both of y'all's first time. What were you thinking in your mind going into that event? And did it live up to the hype, or did it match up what you were thinking prior to going? Chris, you go first, Bo. A lot of Texas cooks in this crowd right now. That's why I want to ask.
I was gonna say I might make some people mad. No, so the event, it's like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, the amount of parties. My buddy Billy Hine was down there. He's on the phone with his wife, and he was explaining it to her. And he's like, the Royal, you see like comp trailers everywhere and like 5 big parties. He's like, this place has 5 comp trailers and 500 parties. Yes. And I was like, that was like the best description ever. It's like the event, everything was insane. I thought the competition was a little crazy, like a little unorganized, like the rules were kind of crazy and that type of stuff. I wasn't in love with it, right? No. But the actual event, man, like I would go whenever I can because it was such a cool experience. Grant,
how about you, buddy?
I would go as long as Chris Davis brings his trailer in there and has me all set up. And I was talking to Schafer about it, and I'm like, because they wanted me to take like a week and a half off of work to get down there and get in. I'm like, that's not going to fly. But I was lucky enough that Chris hooked me up down there. The cooking experience is cool. I practiced cooking 2 ribs for a couple of weeks before that because I was a little nervous about that.
That's all you get.
And all everybody said was cook it tender. And I mean, it was different being, in not my own element, especially with, 6 people in the trailer at one time. I almost lost my mind. But with whatever the judges or whoever they're called, but literally there was 6 people in the trailer when I was trying to plate up ribs, and I was just about ready to go chef mode and just lose my mind.
What are they called? They're not ambassadors. They're
ambassador. Yeah, I mean, they were both super cool, but it's just like they were having a conversation in my ear while I'm trying to get my ribs in a box with aluminum foil, which totally threw me for a loop too. I'm just so used to the fluff and this and that, and I'm throwing in a deep box with aluminum. I could never get settled in, but I had a blast. It was awesome. Thursday night we had a great time. Friday was cool. Saturday we cooked. Saturday I was exhausted though. I was like, I was done, especially
it's a
because
marathon, not a sprint.
You're kind of deflated when you're sitting there for a while and nobody comes with a banner for you, and then you're like, now what? You just kind of.
What was y'all's best finish, each of you guys?
I don't remember. I think I was like 50th brisket or something, or 50th. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
it's a different sandbox, and we feel the same way going up into above Oklahoma, right? Or going into a different area and whatnot. So it does take some learning, and you would adjust. If y'all were to come back, Chris, if you guys were to come back again, you would probably do a couple things different. Chris has done a few CBAs now, and it is different, right? So it's different, not so much techniques or tenderness game. Definitely tenderness game is different, but the flavor, I still think good barbecue is good barbecue and whatnot. That's what I would like to talk to you guys about. These guys that are going here from Texas that know the tenderness game, you have to a little alter that. We don't cook ribs to fall off the bone when we're going up above into KCBS. Down here we do. The chicken is different. We cook a lot of half chickens now. With the induction of CBA, it's different. So a lot of people are used to cooking thighs and wings and legs or whatnot. Making finals brisket was my coolest thing ever. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That stage in Houston is like none other. It's really nice. But anyway, it's different, right? So you guys came down here and experienced that experience. A lot of guys come up there and do KCBS and experience that as well. There are some changes, but Chris, I'll lean on you again because you've done both for a couple times now. You've come down here and done some CBAs and some of the biggest events we have down here. What advice would you have for people going up from Texas to going in the KCBS American Royal?
I would say, first of all, do not do like Rob did and text me for a chicken timeline the day of the competition.
It almost worked out, bro. Almost.
How'd you do a chicken?
I mean, I thought it was pretty good, but 52 or something like that. Out of 101.
Yeah, there's a ton of teams there. You text me like on Friday, and I'm like, should you maybe have got this before you got there? I don't know.
I've done this is this is my 6th time, so it's not like I was a rookie, but I need a little touch up.
Yeah, I think honestly, man, I've cooked a handful of CBA, cooked Houston, cooked a ton of KCBS. I think people talk about tenderness in Texas being like crazy over compared to KCBS, and I think it's a lot closer than what people really realize. My brisket, I think, was like maybe a hair over where I am normally. Ribs are a tad tighter, but I mean, I'm not talking 10 degrees. You're maybe 2 degrees different. Pulling them 8 to 10 minutes earlier than what you would for CBA down there. I don't think it's that big of a difference. And I think good chicken's good chicken as long as they're cooking thighs, legs, wings, and not half chickens. I think they're okay.
Yeah, I feel like ribs are real close. Ribs to me, we can take them to 212, 213, 214 even. To whereas maybe KCBS, you're pulling at 207, 208, 209. That's the main difference for me. Chicken obviously is different. We're cooking a lot of I still cook halves down here. A lot of people have kind of ventured off and started to do the wings and the thighs and the legs, and that you can take that a little hotter than you might think. Everybody's been ingrained in their minds 160 degrees, your chicken's done. Don't turn that in as far as a thigh or a leg or something like that, or even a wing. They can take that higher heat. 200 plus is probably your optimal range. Chicken at 211 right there. But as far as pork, I think what we're doing down here plays the same up there, and brisket as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got to learn how to make pudding greens. They do have to do that.
Can I turn in chicken next? Absolutely. As long as you have 6 of them.
Yeah, please do, Eddie.
As long as you have 6 of them. But any advice for Grant from Grant now? Grant, I don't know you at all. But the Que-U name and what you did last year, I picture you as a really specific, or really you're technical in what you do to win both days. I don't know how you feel that describes you or whatnot, but that's kind of my impression from afar of you. Does that play a little bit?
It's half right. I'm a pretty loose cook. I don't sit there with measuring cups when I'm doing wraps or specific. I like a clean station. I like my mise en place. I like where everything needs to be. But I'm a pretty loose cook. It needs a little bit more of this. It needs a little bit more of that. It needs to go a little longer. With my experience in Houston, even though we did really well last year at the American Royal in ribs, practicing so much, just doing 2 ribs and then cooking a little tender. And then I think it made me a better rib cook in the KCBS, because as soon as we got back from Houston, our rib cook this year has just been great. So I think I did become a better rib cook down in Houston, and I brought it up to KCBS, and I think I have been cooking pretty tender ribs. But
that's great to hear.
As far as how everything goes, no, I'm pretty loose. I'm not so technical. Yeah, I'm pretty loose cook. So, but I like clean station for sure.
Yeah, mise en place. You said I'm a Rec Tech Academy instructor. My buddy over there, Chef Greg, he talks about that all the time. Mise en place. He's a trained chef.
Yeah.
So I've heard that name before. Did you shave them? I think he means you skin the chickens, or I think that's what Tony's doing. But of course, in Tony fashion, did you shave them chicken skins?
Who, me?
Anybody who wants to take that.
It's funny because I just started doing legs a couple weekends, or actually I was out in Pennsylvania and I flew back and I didn't feel like the whole process. I was cooking out of a pop-up, and I started doing chicken legs, and that process is takes no time. And I haven't gotten I did it last weekend at a comp, did pretty well, but I am not going to steer away from chicken thighs right now. But yes, I do kind of, I don't go crazy with them, but I cook at a pretty high heat when I throw those things on there, and they seem to adhere, and I don't have a problem with but I do take them down quite a bit.
Yeah, we'll go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I think most of the drum guys, we're cooking so hot that you got to leave some fat on that skin, or you're gonna rip skins apart and tear them to dust if you don't leave some fat on there.
Yeah. I've done both thighs and legs. Legs do seem a lot easier to trim. Obviously, to me, it's. I think you can make a prettier presentation with a thigh. I may be wrong.
Absolutely.
I have not done a lot of legs either. But to me, a leg, you have to shape them very much prior to cooking, right? You have to make sure your presentation is going to be perfect. So I think it's more forgiving, especially with the the bite on a thigh, to me. So again, I'm a rook as far as I've probably done in my lifetime. I don't know, probably 10 to 12 KCBS events. So I can't really speak on it, but I'm going to go with thighs myself, being a Texas cook.
Schafer, are you going to Murfreesboro this year?
Yeah, are you?
Yeah. So
is Friday, that real quick? Is that where you're making pizzas?
No, I told Rob that I do them Saturday night, but I'm like I'm leaving Thursday. I just want to get down there a little earlier and just kind of get my head straight. And I have a bunch of people following me as far as brothers-in-law, sister-in-law, nephews, wife, child. So it's just going to be a little overwhelming doing pizza Saturday night. But a Friday night, I'm doing a little wing run because I'm still kind of confused on where I need to be at the wings. I know a lot of people are practicing wings right now and doing this. I've never really put a wing in a box. So Friday night, I would love to present some wings, and you can tell me your honest opinion.
Yeah. And I'm cooking wings on Saturday, so you can try mine if you like.
Perfect.
Grant, how'd you come up with your team name?
U-Line. It was either what were we doing? Q-Line or something, and we just said Q and then U. It's all about where I work. So it's just,
I tell you what, hearing that on Saturday was great, and then hearing it again on Sunday, I'm like, all right, cool. QU, I get it. 100%. QU, Q University. I'm running.
The funny thing is, tights. I think
she's running tights. Yeah.
Oh, tights. Yeah.
Okay. Good job, Anna.
Grant didn't cook a ton last year, and so I think you hear him the first day and then you hear him the second day. I think there's a lot of teams out there like, who the heck is Que? But like, if you go look at his barbecue data last year, he cooked like 8 comps and GC'd like 5 of them. You're like, the dude's been slaying it for a few years, So he doesn't cook as much as the rest of us, but when he gets out there, he's a force.
So Grant, talk about confidence. What was your, were you packing up on Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday and I'm going to go win this bitch? Or were you like, let's just go and have a great cook off and see where it lays? What was your confidence level going in there? Because everybody wants to win this event. Everybody's going up there in their mind to win this event. I don't know, out of 500, how many really actually, if you get down to it, feel like they have a chance to win. What was your feeling going into that event?
My feeling was I've never been there. So
that was your first time?
Yeah. And my wife typically comes to these competitions with me, and she stayed back with our son because he was so young. So I had one of my best friends, Jesse, who's my sous chef. He rolled out there with me, who's never really cooked a competition before. So we just went out there, and weather was perfect. Our spot was perfect. We went to, Thursday we went out and, visited some breweries, some taquerias. And I thought, just because the year that we were having, I thought we cooked good food. I said to my wife, anything top 50 day one, anything top, 150 day two is pretty cool. But no, to come in there and think that you're going to slay it or, win both days, you feel confident in your cook, especially right now where this is week 5 that I'm cooking in a row, and you get those repetitions in, and you just feel better and better.
Yes,
especially, last weekend with chicken, and still got to figure out the pork this weekend. But you feel confident just getting those reps in and getting the timing down and getting the flavors in and seeing what's hitting, seeing what's not hitting. But yeah, like Chris said, like last year we were on a good little roll, and why not? But no, it's a lot of luck involved. That's for damn sure.
Grant, why don't you tell a story about day 2? Because
nice.
You didn't wake up, right?
No. I think me and Jesse, my sous chef, are the only two up at past 2:00 in the morning on day 1, and we decided I should go to bed in my air mattress in my crappy little, not crappy, I love that thing, but my little tin can of a trailer wouldn't blow up. So I went up to my buddy Eric's where I stayed the previous or Thursday night. He's got an RV, so I go in there and I couldn't sleep, and I set my alarm, but I set my alarm for my work alarm for the weekday. And that thing never went off. And Eric slapped my legs at, 6:30, 6:15.
Oh, wow.
Didn't set me too far behind, but it definitely stressed me out. So wake up way behind. I was like doing the walk of shame through, like, because I was all the way down to 900 and he was all the way to the top. So I'm just like walking.
Hold
by,
up.
like,
Hold up. Obviously, you were celebrating the day 1 win, and you didn't go to bed till 2.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't wake up. So you couldn't have been feeling great.
No, I felt best I've ever felt in my life. It was awesome. The sun was out. I was hanging out with my buddy Jesse, who was supposed to help me that day. He didn't get down there till about 10:30, 11. So it was just business as usual for me. I was hanging out. I had, everything ready to go, obviously. And it was just, like you said, you get those reps in and you just cook. And I saved my better meat for day 2. So, just cook it well. And again, it's a shit ton of luck involved, but
it is.
I'll take a shit ton of luck. That's for damn
Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. We talk about it all the time on the show. You got to cook good food and get extra lucky. But yeah, some of them tables out there, it's fun to. What I love about the KCBS is you can see, table averages. You can dissect a cook-off more so than any other sanctioning body out there. And Chris, I'm sure you go out there and how much do you play into after your event? And say you're on, you felt like you cook a good rib, and then you find out, hey, maybe I was in the middle of the pack as far as table averages. How does that translate to you? What does that mean to you?
Darren Worth said a long time ago, there's a bunch of guys staring and looking at their sheets, and he just walked by and said those sheets aren't changing, or those scores aren't changing. And so it's one of those things. It's like, you can dissect it all you want, but odds are, if you're cooking good ribs, you're scoring well, and you have one comp that's off, whether it was a bad table, good table, whatever, you're going to go do the same thing the next weekend anyway. So There's events like the I think it was day 2 of the KCBS Invitational last year. I won all 4 tables and finished like 8th. And then you go look and you hit some pretty tough tables, and you're like, well, I mean, I did my job, And so I think more time it's just reassurance that you did what you were supposed to do than trying to blame a table.
Yeah, I mean, it's you hear about it. You can't blame a table. This is what we do, right? It's what we do each and every week, and everybody, one day you're going to be celebrated, and next day you can turn the same food in. In fact, we've had some instances where you literally same food was turned in, and it's just different. It's all about turning in good food and getting equally or even better lucky.
My favorite comment is when people are like, man, I hit the table of death and it screwed me. And I'm like, well, you were 5th on that table. So
yeah, you can only complain if you're first on the table. I mean,
if you're first or second on the table, maybe, but when you're 5th on the table, it could have been a great table and you would have done well.
All right. So Grant, tell me about your attitude going into next week. I mean, are you like, let's go, I'm Grant, Que-U.
I love my attitude going into this weekend because Murfreesboro is such a kick-ass competition. So I'm really looking forward. I am leaving tomorrow, and then an army of people are following me Friday. But still working in the trailer. Can't wait to cook down there. Be a beautiful weekend. But the following weekend, I'm just looking just to have fun. Most stressful part about the following weekend, Eater reached out to me. It's not something I typically would do, but they are a film group, an awesome website, an awesome YouTube. They do a lot of cool videos. They do a show called Mise en Place, a show called doing Smoke Point right now.
I'm familiar with them. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
they're great. Yeah.
The videos are fantastic. 15,
Absolutely.
20 minutes. They're amazing. And the director producer reached out to me, and he wants to do a couple of teams at the Royal. And typically it's something I would definitely not do. But my kid, he's 2. So when he's like 15, 20 years old and we pop on YouTube, he's going to be like, Dad, that's pretty cool. So they're going to come film me on Friday, all day Saturday. So that's going to be typically, like I said, I don't like a lot of people up in my business. I cook by myself. But that's a little stressful. But I'm just looking forward to. My wife's coming this year. Jessie is
Beautiful.
not. So, oh yeah, I got you, Chris. Absolutely. So my wife's coming for the first time. She's a little social butterfly, so she's gonna have a blast being down there.
Awesome.
But I'm looking, like I said, I've been kind of, got some hand-picked stuff in the freezer ready to pull. So we'll see.
Beautiful. What space are you in?
Are you bringing Rob?
No. No, Rob. I think this is the first competition he won't be with me, so a little less stress. So
Rob's are great. Chris Schafer, who did your makeup? Somebody asked. What space are you in, Grant?
I didn't want to give up my space from last year, but I have a bigger rig, so I got the one right next to the space I did from last year. So 950 or 951, but I got my boys Rusty Pig into my old space, so we'll be.
How far is that? That sounds far. How far is that walk to the turn?
It's not. It's from. I didn't run it because I had my buddy with me, but it might be 3.5 minutes. It's actually was a little easier from where everybody else was because you just kind of go through gates and left and right. This was like you take a left, a right, and it's a straight shot, so it wasn't bad.
Well, last question from me. Chris may have another question, but what changed after winning, double, back to back, the only one to ever do it? And like I said on top of the show, I don't think this is going to happen again. No. But what did anything happen or anything change? Did anybody come running besides, the best fake internet barbecue show on the planet? This one you're on right now. But did anything else actually change for you as far as, people coming after you, talking to you or whatnot?
Nada, man. No, I don't really put myself out there. I did some podcasts afterwards, and trying to win one after the Royal has just kind of been a monkey on my back. But no, nothing too much. I still go to work every day, and that's my bread and butter. And I'm still going to cook competition barbecue because I freaking love it. I love the process. Yeah. I love the people. I love the cook. I love everything of it. So I'm going to keep on doing that, but not really, man. Nothing too much, which I know it sucks because a lot of people out there did win it probably 2 days in a row would freaking change their lives. But No, I'm very fortunate. I love every second of it. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing, but it's been great.
Chris, you got a parting question before we let him run down people that have helped him? So, and I have one last question for you. I forgot about the Mount Rushmore. We got to ask him about that one before we.
I have no parting question, but I will tell you that Grant built a new trailer and modeled it completely after my trailer and made it 100 times better. So I walk in his trailer and I'm like, damn, I wish I had this trailer. It's so nice.
That thing, it was yours when we started with, and it took us like 6 months just to like, what are we doing? Talking to it was just like, and it just came out. It came out great, really, really nice.
So, Grant, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but one of the questions we ask on this show from every guest, thankful to Jared McCrory from Barefoot Cookers, he said, "Hey, of your guests, I would like to know who they put on their Mount Rushmore of barbecue." And we're talking about people that may have helped you along the way, inspired you, somebody that is a mentor of you or whatnot. Who do you want to put 4 people on your Mount Rushmore of barbecue for Que-U barbecue, Grant? Basiliere.
Nice. So it would definitely have to be Tuffy, obviously, because I didn't even know what competition barbecue was until I met him.
Tuffy Stone.
For sure. Second, Schafer's been, not to blow smoke because he's sitting right in front of me. He's been pretty awesome to me over the years. It's between the the Getting Basteds and Tim Shears, just how much they win, and I'm cooking on the same thing. And like I said, I've watched that Getting Basted video on doing pork 10 times, and it's taught me how to fabricate and break down pork, and that's pretty awesome. And then the fourth, I don't know, just I would have to. It's a good question. I would say the Rusty Pig Boys, just because I love hanging out with them. So that's about it.
That's a pretty solid Mount Rushmore of barbecue. And then last one, who's your barbecue homie? Who's somebody that you need around you that helps you along the way, or you just you want to be around at a contest? Who's your barbecue homie there, Grant?
I mean, my wife, it pretty much comes to every single one. That's for sure.
Love it.
My wife for sure, but I'm definitely one of those guys who, if I'm in the kitchen by myself and I can just zone in, listen to a little music, I'm in my happy place then. But my wife is, if we don't have a 1-year-old or 2-year-old and a dog crying behind us and no distractions, she's going to be the perfect partner down at the American Royal. So I'm really looking forward to it. My wife, obviously.
Great.
Awesome.
Great. You got to tell them what kind of music you're listening to constantly in the trailer.
Constantly?
Yeah. There's one band. When I think of you, I think of one band.
Well, there's a lot of debates. It's either Fish, it's either Rolling Stones, it's Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, it's I don't know, really loud reggae. I don't know. Is it Fish?
Fish is what I think of when I think of Grant.
I'm an East Coast kid from the 90s.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Grant, it's been amazing. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show. And
You're
I appreciate Chris.
You're going to be at the Royal, Rob?
I will be there. Yes, we will be there. We're in space 209. We'll be out there, but I'd love to. I'll come find you. We'll come see you.
You're going to have those hats for sale. Those are good looking hats.
You know what? I need. Hopefully, I don't know if they're going to be ready in time anymore. But
he said for sale. I'm expecting a free hat, Rob.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know that these hats make in that shape that you wear your hats like that, Chris. But
hey, man, I can make it work.
When I was growing up playing little league ball, we had a couple kids that did that. But Chris he's still pulling it. He's still bringing it home.
He does it well.
He does. Hey, Grant, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person at the American Royal, and of course, Chris will be there as well. But thank you so much for coming on the show. This is an amazing story. Again, no one has ever done what you did. And I don't expect that to happen again. And good to meet you. You seem like a great guy, and much love to you. And congratulations on that badass gig you have with Uline. That's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Hey, hope to see you at the Royal.
Yeah. Hey, any shout outs you want to give out before we let you
to all my peeps, they know who they are. And Schafer, I'll see you next weekend, man.
I'll see you Friday.
All right, brother.
All right. Grant Basiliere with you, Que-U barbecue. Thank you so much, Grant. Appreciate you, man. All right, there. Oh, Chris. My boy Ty's on there. Hey, that was awesome, man. Thank you so much for setting that up, Chris.
He's such a good dude. Like, I think you can tell in the time that he's on here, he's just like a genuine like great person, man, and his family's awesome. His son is such a cool little kid. You'll get to meet. He won't be at the Royal,
No,
but dude, he's just good people.
Yeah, he's going to be just his wife and him, and
Yeah,
he might win both again next week. You never know. You never know.
I will forewarn you. We used to do this a lot at competitions. We haven't as much after COVID. We used to do on Friday night, we would do like a taco challenge, or like we would do these different challenges, and somebody would have to cook against Grant, and nobody beats Grant. So the dude's such an amazing cook.
He is, and like I said, like I mentioned, I don't know Grant until now, but I can't wait to meet him next week. But yeah, I pictured him as like this mad scientist guy. Whenever you have your name like QU. And I now feel like it comes from
Makes sense.
Or from Uline, but man, I feel like like Tuffy is one of his mentors, somebody that really has early on in that barbecue pitmaster show, and he's like, yeah, I have a spreadsheet for everything, and he down to the minute of everything, and that's what I pictured with Grant. But now after talking to him, he's a loose cook like he mentioned, and it's great to hear. I think just that experience.
Also, him being an actually like a trained chef, it's a difference of like knowing this guy. I need to meet Tony just so
Tony's awesome.
Just so I can ignore him when I see him. I think with him being a chef, like he knows how to cook food, right? So he's not going to miss tenderness, and his palate has to be insane. So I'm sure he can try a piece of brisket and say, this needs salt, or I need to tone down the salt, and he'll know how to fix it because he is a trained chef. And that's
a trained chef. That's
a hard thing to learn if you don't have that,
It's the palate, bro. All right. So we're going into hour number 2, and we got a special guest coming up here in just a minute. We got Craig Carter. He's going to come on and talk about what's going on Thursday night at the American Royal, SCA, and the Pickapalooza. For those that don't know about the Pickapalooza, it's a pretty big event out there. We'll talk to Craig about everything going on with that, and I'm excited to bring him on real quick on that. But if Ty could play a little quick sponsor spot and anything else, and maybe some videos, because I got to go kick the tires. I'll be right back. But Ty, play a little sponsor. Shout out to the supportive and outstanding sponsors: Rectag, Smokin Magic, Cosmos Q Products, K&R Pipeline Services, Race Crew Drum Smokers, Barbecue 321 Podcast, Texas Oil Dust, LC Barbecue, Pinkerton Texas Pit Barbecue, Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, War Pig Barbecue, Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, Chicken Fried Barbecue Grind, Navy SEAL Danny Dietz Memorial Classic, Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics, Texas Original Charcoal Products, Got Your Six Culture, We Branded Promotions, and the Barbecue Store in Hempstead. Thank you for supporting the So Smokin Gooder Show.
Well, hello there. How you doing? I'm Aaron Leslie with Texas Oil Dust, and today you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show.
Alrighty, Alrighty, I am back. Chris Schafer's not here. Here he is. He's getting back in the groove. Did you go kick some tires too, Chris?
I was refilling this giant mug of water that I got. Chris Davis texted me, and he's like, "What's with that giant mug?" I was like, "I get thirsty."
No, I know. We all know that's all water. Me too. Drinking some bottled water.
Well, it's funny, you meet people, and I don't drink, and so you meet people, and they're like, "Hey, you want a beer?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Do you do barbecue and you don't drink?" I'm like, "Sorry, I don't know."
Tony's already rating boxes. He said 6. It hadn't happened yet, Tony.
It must have been one of his boxes.
All right, we got a great guest coming up here in just a minute. But for those who don't I got to remind them, we are going to have the Rate My Box. We've got the upcoming event segment. We got the wrap-up recap. And then we'll get out of here because we're going into hour number 2. And we have some big weekends. Chris is going to be at another contest. You're going to be where again?
Murfreesboro, Illinois. It's
17th
Street, Mike Mills. It's been around for 30 some odd years. All their trophies, these glass blown apples, and it's like the coolest trophy. So everyone's always trying to go get an apple.
So my wife is the event rep this weekend in Magnolia, Texas, but I'm considering going to it's check the tires. That's what I said. I'm considering going to Leander. I don't know. A lot of friends are going to be out there and a little bigger payout. I have not decided yet. I'm hoping to make that decision pretty soon.
She's repping a contest and you're not going to go there?
Well,
it's probably for the best. It's honestly probably for the best.
Yeah, I don't like going to contests where she's the actual rep, but hey, I never win her event, so it doesn't matter. So
it's not her fault. Not her fault.
It's not her fault. It's all my fault. But I don't know what I'm doing yet. So Chris, let's talk this out real quick. Do I go 3 hours, 3.5 hours? No, 3 hours to Leander when I know I have to travel 11 hours here on Tuesday? Or should I just go 30 minutes down the road and do an event and come back?
Well, what's the payout for both?
So 20,000 in Leander, 6,000 over here.
Yuck. How many teams at both?
I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that yet.
I would say if the team counts are almost equal, go for 20 grand. If the team counts are double at the 20 grand, I'd say stay close to home.
These now traveling to Georgia or Mississippi or what is this music here or Kansas?
Jaws?
I know. I don't know, but 11 hours. Anything less than 4 hours basically is a little quick trip nowadays. So we'll figure it out.
I traveled so much the last few years chasing points that when I set my schedule up this year, nothing was over 5 hours away. And so, like this week, it's 2 hours. Like it feels like a trip to the grocery store compared to what we were doing the last few years.
Hey, man, you're just settling in at that point. It's definitely changed my perspective. I used to only cook a lot of Houston events or not travel very much anymore. But here in the last 4 years or whatever, 4 hours doesn't seem that long. 3 hours doesn't seem that long. 2 hours is like a, like you said, quick trip, whatever. I'll see him Bills. He's telling me I'll see you in Leander. We'll see.
If I can get to an event without putting diesel in my truck, that's a close trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right. All right, let's bring him on. He's been in here now for a minute here. We're talking about Craig Carter, excuse me. I've said Case, I've said Craig, I've said Chris. Where he is right there. Craig Carter. For those that know Craig lives in Kansas City, and he's the main guy behind the big Pigapalooza and the big SCA steak contest that happens on Thursday at the American Royal. We're probably going on, I feel like it's 3 or 4 years now, Craig. What do you think, bro?
The steak contest, this is the 3rd year. Pigapalooza is going to be 10 years next year.
Oh shit. Okay. Nice.
That'll be a big one next year.
All right, Craig. So I know you're a competition cook. Please introduce yourself. A lot of guys that are watching this show are from Texas. We don't know Craig Carter. Oh, there it is. Craig Carter, the party starter. I've heard that already.
That was Brad Orson, of all people, named me that. So
I like it. All right, Craig. So introduce yourself. Where you from? How are you involved in all of this barbecue world, bro?
Craig Carter, Kansas City, Missouri. I've cooked barbecue for damn near 20 years. And Mom got sick about halfway in between, and I found the SCA in about that time, and I kind of switched over some SCA stuff and starting to get back in the barbecue realm of things now with all the rubs and stuff like that. And SCA has been fun. Had a lot of success in that. Won a championship last year, and then had success. I cooked with Boar's Night Out, White Lightning.
Yep.
At Memphis in May and other contests and stuff like that. Those guys are my boys. And we have a lot of fun with it and just seeing where it goes. love cooking barbecue. I love cooking steak. I love ancillaries and making
so
things look pretty.
Are your team names the same versus SCA and KCBS or whatever organization you are?
Aces Wild. Yeah.
Aces Wild. Okay.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
I see my boy Chris Davis just commenting. So good.
Craig Carter is an ancillary badass and all around great guy.
Yeah, I love that dude.
I love Peter. Peter, I got to see Peter last weekend.
Peter Ramirez.
Yeah, he's from San Angelo. A steak there's in the better animal cook and pretty dang solid steak cook on top of it. All right, so let's talk about what's going on at the American Royal. You are the would you say promoter, or you're the?
I'm the host. I'm the host. Yeah,
the host. All right.
Pigapalooza's kind of been my baby from the start.
Chris, what do you know about Pigapalooza?
I know nothing. I'm literally just sitting here listening because you said it's been going for 10 years, and I'm like, all right, what is it?
So I've seen it. I saw it kind of firsthand last year when Stretch was like put a pig on a string and slung it, but
slung it through the air. Yeah,
that was awesome. So talk about Pigapalooza, man.
That was 2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago he put it on a live wire and brung it and slung it out in front of the crowd. Brought it out. I mean, it had a cape on it. I mean, just like Stretch, it had a cape on it, and he dissected it right there. I mean, I think last year he brought it in on a chariot, like old school. I mean, a million years ago, and I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
I saw his he threw out a first pitch at the Royals game about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm surprised they let him on the field.
I wouldn't say impressive, but he did it. He made it at least beyond the white chalk. We'll see.
Stretch is a dear friend, and he makes everything fun. If you don't respect it, then you don't understand Stretch. Because Stretch is here to have a good time.
He just marches to the beat of his own drum, and he doesn't apologize for it, man. He just is who he is, and you're going to deal with it. It's great.
Oh no, and you're gonna hear that Thursday night at the American Royal. Thursday night of the American Royal, he's gonna sing for us. He's gonna put on a concert.
Yes.
Yeah, he's putting on a concert for all the pit masters. He wants all the pit masters, and we're doing this for OBR and everything. And we want everybody to come at 10 o'clock on Thursday night and come check out Stretch. He's going to perform. He's doing it for a great cause. And it's right after the state competition gets done. And it's going to be a good time.
Is it going to be in the OBR camp that happens? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So, it's going to be in the 900s. Yep.
Okay. Let's back up because there's a lot of information we just threw out there. But for those that don't know, the OBR camp is like once you enter under the bridge or under the tunnel, once you come back up, it's to the left, right? You look to the left and that's your camp.
Correct.
All right.
Yep.
And so what's going on there again on Thursday night is we have the Pigapalooza and we have the steak competition. So can you give us the timelines of that? What's that happening at that time?
Yep. So 3 years ago, Thursday night, I was like, let's do an SCA deal because we all get bored on Thursday night. And the first year we had like 50 people sign up. Second year, I think last year was right around 75. So we're hoping to have 100 people sign up, and the American Royals putting it out there and everything. So we're really wanting to get more barbecue guys to come cook a steak with us on Friday night for a good cause. So that's where it all started, and it's growing each year. And so hopefully we can get some more people signed up for it. And that's what we're really wanting to do is all the barbecue guys can go to their own site, cook their own steak, walk over in the middle of the Kansas Speedway, turn it in, and then come back over to the Pigapalooza site and try and win some cool grills. We got all kinds of grills and prizes and everything for this. Instead of giving money like the typical SCA contest does, we're doing straight up grills and grilling products. So we have all kinds of great donors from Rectech, from Loco, from Cotton Gin Smokers, B&B Charcoal, Royal Oak. The list goes on who all's donated from this. Icy Tech Coolers.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. My warehouse right now is full of stuff that I got to take out for donations for all this stuff.
You raised a good question. I was wondering about that. So you said that the guys can cook their steak in their own camps and then turn it in just like anybody else, right? Just like any other contest at the Royal, you cook it in your own camp and you can go turn that in at the appropriate time, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I was wondering because I remember being there a couple years. I think the first year everybody kind of convened under the OBR tent and did their own steak there. So
but a majority of them did, and I think we got a lot of SCA people the first year, which we have a lot of SCA people this year, but now we're starting to get a lot of KCBS people too.
That's kind of important because a lot of us don't cook that SCA, and that's a different world. I mean, that is as serious as barbecue guys are for barbecue. SCA guys are just as serious, maybe even more so.
It's an art. Steak. I mean, it's just like, no more than barbecue. I mean, it's an art. It's a science. I mean, you got to have your timelines down just like barbecue. I mean, it's not as long as of a timeline, but I mean, it's there, and you got to nail it. And if you don't, you're going to get nailed for it.
All right,
John, go
ahead, Chris.
Let's say if you've ever watched these high level SCA guys through their entire cook, you're like, dude, this is intense.
It is.
I cooked one SCA and retired. I was like, I'm done.
JB, John Barton, can you register for the steak cook on site?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
hey,
you
John,
can.
Are the turn-ins the same spot as the Royal? Or you got to turn at the OBR?
No, you turn it. If you go to the SCA website, it'll show you where to turn in and you can register online at the SCA site, and you don't have to be a member, by the way. So keep that in mind. And only reason, if you win, then you got to join. You have a week to join to be a member in order to qualify for the World Championship. But in order to register for the cook, you don't have to be an SCA member.
Awesome.
So, but then going back to that question, the SCA turn-in is over by the KCBS judging.
Okay.
At, I believe it's spot 207 is where it's at. So it's relatively right in the middle. It's close to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Right
I was going to say the OBR tent's like a 15-minute walk from my space, probably. So,
but I think the SCA turn-in is just a little bit closer. But then the after party and the awards are at the OBR spot, and that's the OBR spot is where Stretch is going to be performing, and the awards and don't forget the turkey smoke throwdown.
Is that the same night?
Yes.
So that's independent of the Royals turkey.
Yes, it is.
So there's two.
Is it straight? Is it straight turkey, or can you turn in like a turkey sandwich or whatever?
Nope. So the winner of the SCA state competition is going to go into a throwdown with a celebrity chef.
The same night?
The same night, right after steak awards.
Stretch. Bill Purvis, bring your own steak. No, this is SCA, so they provide the steaks, right? You turn in your entry form.
Yes,
you pay your entry fee, and you have to go through a snake process. For those that don't know, SCA, Craig, explain that, right? So they go through a snake process to get your two steaks.
Yeah, the SCA. Although I like KCBS's steak process, it's just totally different than the SCA. The SCA, you have to choose from the same, usually brand of steaks, and they all come from the same butcher at that time. So you don't get to bring your own steak into the SCA like you do for KCBS. So everybody's on the same playing field. All of them are cut 1.25 inches across the board. They're all usually choice or above. And that's so everybody, it's more of a level playing field with the SCA than it is.
And
some
correct me
other
if
places.
I'm wrong, but you just draw a number and then you do a stake
Yeah.
draft. So if you draw
Correct.
first, then you draw your second stake last, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
All right. Well, so let's talk about the Pickapalooza. All right. This is a completely different competition, right? So how many teams are involved in the Pickapalooza, and how do you get involved with the Pickapalooza? I think if you're going to do this, you probably already know you're involved, because I don't think Chris is going to go to HEB, well, to Hy-Vee, where the hell you get. Or
I don't have either of those things.
okay, or what do you have up there? What's up there?
Nothing.
I mean, tell me, what's the equivalent?
I don't even. We don't have anything like as cool as like HEB or any of those. Like we have Deerbergs, we have Schnucks.
You
things
can't
like
go
that.
to Walmart and pick up a hog
Walmart. Yeah,
and,
Walmart.
and show up on Saturday or Thursday. Excuse me.
I'm very envious of your HEBs, by the way. When I was down there, I mean, I'd walk in, I'm like, everything you need is in this store. Like, this is bullshit,
bro. I have 3 within 5 minutes of me, so I'm set. I'm
You're
good.
supposed to say no big deal after that.
No,
Chris, where are you from?
NBD.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Oh, you got what do you got in St.
Nothing.
I got walked out of there one time on one.
They have murders.
Because they had the brakes. They had the brakes on the golf. They had the brakes on the carts, and they wouldn't let me out. And I was like pissed off.
Yeah. St. Louis just has a lot of crime. We have.
Oh, I'm well aware. Yeah,
murder,
Drive-bys.
meth. You know,
drive-bys, all of it.
Yeah.
That's why we got to give a shout out to our boys at Cordy Meat over in like Highland, Illinois. You know, they ship all over the country, but like everybody in this area gets their stuff from them because they're we don't have an HEB to go to. You know.
There you go, bro.
Cordy Meat. I met those guys.
Nice shout out.
I think it was back in February at the Cape Girardeau indoor contest. They were awesome.
Yeah, those guys. I mean, they're literally shipping like Tim's Marble Ridge briskets. Like they're trimming them and shipping them all over the country now. So
nice.
All right, Craig. Let's talk about the Piggapalooza before we let you get out of here, bro.
Piggapalooza, man. It's a fundraiser for Operation Barbecue Relief that we've been doing for next year's gonna be 10 years. And Stan and I tossed it around. Stan and Will and I tossed it around years back, and we started it. And I've kind of taken it over since they've gotten so busy with disasters and stuff like that. But what we have is 6 pitmasters, world champion hog cookers that come in and cook whole hog.
Yeah, these are no jokes. Who you got?
Yeah.
Who you got cooking? Yeah, Boar's Night Out.
We got Boar's Night Out, Mark Lambert, Scott Guy, Matt Overson, Stretch, and The Shed.
Damn.
And then one of the founders from OBR is going to throw his hat in there this year, which is Will Cleaver. And he's going to let his wife, Laura, cook it this year. So I'm like, hey, I can't turn her down. So I'm like, let's go.
So this also happens Thursday night as well, right?
No, this is Friday night.
Oh, Friday night. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Piggapalooza is Friday night.
All right.
Starts at
Thursday.
Yep. Steaks Thursday. Piggapalooza is 4:00 on Friday afternoon. We start judging at 5:00, and judging goes until 6:15 to 6:30. So each pitmaster gets 15 minutes to give their demonstration on how they cook their hog. Did I forget to mention Stretch in there?
Nope.
You did. You mentioned.
Yeah. Stretch is cooking a hog too.
Yeah, you got it. You got it in there.
He's gonna need more than 15 minutes.
He always does. That's why he's last.
Craig, I don't
because we start the food line as the hogs are coming off, and we was like, well, we're gonna leave Stretch last so we don't mess that up.
I need to remind you that you invited me to be a judge in this, and
I was going to ask you. I go, are you still going to be a judge?
I am 100%. I'm so looking forward to this thing. I'm
awesome.
going to be a judge at Piggapalooza, and it's going to be one of my highlights of the American Royal, besides winning the damn thing. But we'll figure out how that goes. I'm excited about it. No, I'm seriously excited about this whole Pick-a-Palooza event and what you guys got going on for Operation Barbecue Relief, man.
There's a long list of people that want in on that thing, and I turn people down every year, and I tell them, I'm like, man, unless somebody backs out, I mean,
I'm in.
It is what it is. So
I'm in.
You can add me to the list.
You're out.
Well, you need to come over and visit this year, Chris.
I told you that's a long walk. I'm a fat guy.
Hey,
all right, Chris.
Just get on Stretch's golf cart or whatever he has.
Yeah.
He's down by you and hitch a ride.
Chris, you should be his bodyguard. Just roll in with Stretch. We'll see what happens there.
Just put on some real dark aviators. Talk to nobody. Yeah.
All right, Craig. Craig, we got to get to the wrap up recap and some other things. But before we let you go, do you want any shout outs you want to give out before, or highlights of the event that you want to highlight before we get you out of here?
No, man, I want to see everybody show up Thursday night for the steak awards and to appreciate what Stretch is doing for us on Thursday night. He's putting a lot of effort into this concert, and I mean, he's got a full blown stage. I mean, light show, screen, everything. So I just want to encourage all the pit masters and everybody that's at the American Roll hanging around drinking beer on Thursday night. Come check out Stretch and support OBR. And I guarantee it's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. I'm so looking forward
to this whole event. I hear there might be some drinks around there too. So
you know it already. That's without a doubt. Bartenders, drinks flowing, just having some good camaraderie with all the people around there because Chris, I mean, it's a party. We talked about this. It's a reunion. So
it is a reunion.
Anytime you can go out there on Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, before the whole competition starts is always a good time, man.
Yep. And I just want everybody to come support Stretch and what he's doing. He's put a lot of work into it and everything. And he's like a brother to me. I mean, he's a good dude. He means well for everybody. He'll do anything for anyone. And so I think we should all do the same.
I'm sure we have Miller Lite as well there. All right. Well, thank you, Craig. I appreciate you coming on. And this is real important for me to highlight what you got going on, man, because we're hoping to get a lot of people out there. And I know y'all been doing it for a number of years now, but man,
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to bring the show over there, let me know. And come on.
We'll see.
All right, cool.
See if I can get Chris over there. It's a long walk.
We'll set you up in Meat Lover, and y'all can kind of just like overlook the crowd and do your thing.
All right, we'll critique from afar. No, I'm good. Hey, I appreciate you, Craig. Thank you so much, and we'll see you here next weekend, man. It's gonna be good.
Man.
All right,
see,
there he is, Craig Carter, the party starter. There he is.
That's a great name.
I know
that's a good name.
It flows pretty well. I'm jealous, a little jealous of that name right there.
Craig it's a whole lot harder to come up with something that named or rhymed with your last name.
Yeah, Roach. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen with that last name. Hey, but real quick, let's get on to this. Ty can play some music. We'll get on with the rest of the show. And then we'll get to the Rate My Box, and then we'll get at it. But I saw a lot of entries for the Rate My Box. And if Craig's still down there, I see him down there. We'll hook him up here in just a minute. But let's go to the Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics wrap up recap. And you're not going to have any part in this, but nope. Here we go, right here. Here we go. Champions Barbecue Alliance, Denny's Memorial Barbecue Cook-Off, Grand Champion. All right, this is the guy that's been on the doorstep of winning the GC, and he finally did it. Here we go, right here. Alonzo Cantu from Gulf Coast Smoke. Congratulations. The RGC Mo Harden, Cochin Barbecue. Over at the Wild West Fest, we got the Grand Champion, Mr. Aaron Leslie.
Well, hello there. How you doing? I'm Aaron Leslie with Texas Oil Dust, and today you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show.
If you're jealous that Aaron got a little play there, send me. I don't know. RGC, Ty, are you ready? Carlos Calzada, Smoking Lowe's Barbecue. He's coming. I promise you. He's coming. Nope, never mind. Don't worry
I
about
don't
it.
even know where it's at. I can't find
Don't worry about it. All right, Washington County Fair Cook-Off, King of Coals, Robert Smith, First Class Barbecue. It's the what?
So Smokin Gooder Show.
It is the So Smokin Gooder Show. All right. Are you ready? You can handle this? There we go. 3.
I'm First Class Barbecue Robert Smith, and you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show.
You said it wrong, dummy. Do it again.
So Smokin Gooder Show.
One more time.
So Smokin Gooder Show.
God, I love Robert.
I do too. All right. RGC was WTF Cookers. In Llano, Volunteer Fire Department Cook-Off. Grand Champion Kevin Hernandez. This guy's been on fire all year long. Congratulations. My pits are burning. The RGC was my good buddy John Barton from Barton Barbecue over in God's Country, Hondo, Texas. God Country Cook-Off. The Grand Champion Mike Reyes from What You Smokin'. RGC was Louis Gonzalez from DD Barbecue. In the 6th annual Los Fresnos Cowboy Cook-Off, Grand Champion Uwe Braun, my favorite German barbecue cook. Beer Bellies Barbecue. And the RGC was Rini Gonzalez from Gonzalez Family Barbecue. All right, lots of cook-offs in the Champions Barbecue Alliance. Over in the IBCA, we got the 6th annual Buffalo Stampede Cook-Off. Grand Champion Randall Kendrick. This guy's been killing it over in IBCA. Congratulations. From Hideaway Ranch Cookers, the RGC, another good friend of mine, Jamie Roby. Love me some Jamie Roby with Texas Smoke. And over in El Campo, wow. El Campo, the Lost Lagoon 5th annual cook-off. I love this. If you guys have not been to the El Campo resort, make plans to attend. It's a great contest. It's a great venue. Just go there and hang out. Grand Champion Weston Kimball from No Bore Barbecue. The RGC was Ashley Hofling from Breggy Bomb Barbecue. And the Texas State Forest Fest Big Axe Barbecue Contest. Man, that's a mouthful, Chris.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Texas State Forest Fest Big Axe Cook-Off. Grand Champion Darren Thurman from Lucky 7. And the RGC was Reese Maddox at Maddox Barbecue and Catering. And over in the Lone Star, never mind, no results. In Outlaw, Hella Shrine Barbecue Extravaganza. There it is right there. Grand Champion Lonnie Carroll from Meathead Barbecue. And the RGC was Brian Irby from Biggie's Barbecue. All right, there we go. What did I miss? Welcome to the show, Curtis. Nothing. You did not win this weekend, so you're not mentioned. Sorry. All right. Let's drop this down. Remove from studio. The next thing we got is to present is the upcoming event segment sponsored by the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. Going to happen December 8th and 9th in Uvalde, Texas. Make plans to attend. This weekend, we got a state championship in Magnolia, Texas. Patriots of Texas in Magnolia, Texas. It is a state championship. Make plans to attend. I might be there. I do not know yet. In Raymondville, Texas, we got the Willisey County Young Farmers Cook-Off. In Leander, Texas, $20K payout. Paying out the Hill Country Shootout in Leander, Texas. And then we got Aransas Pass, Smoke on the Water. That's going on in the Champions Barbecue Alliance this weekend. Over in IBCA, we got the Texas Motor Speedway Barbecue Contest, Fort Worth, Texas. That is going to be on the grounds inside Texas Motor Speedway. Pretty awesome. Lone Star Barbecue, we got Headwaters for Heroes in Harper. We got the Bernie Mac. I was going to say Bernie Mac. The Barney McBee Cook-Off in Comanche, Texas. And over in Outlaw, there he is. We got the Hella Shrine Barbecue Extravaganza in Garland. All right, that is going to be the upcoming event segment sponsored by the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. Chris Schafer, thank you so much for sticking around for this long. We got one last segment, and that is we already did your Mount Rushmore a few times now, so we're not going to revisit that again, but we are going to do the Rate My Box.
Have you done your Mount Rushmore?
I have. I have, and I'll tell you, I don't want to be consistent. Sometimes it changes, but I'll come back to that. But I want to make sure it's consistent. But I think I got it on the board.
Not this time, but the next time I'm on, I think I'm gonna do a Mount Rushmore of barbecue helpers. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many guys that are the main face, but they have a helper that is crushing it every week, like my dad. I think I'm gonna do a Mount Rushmore of barbecue helpers.
I don't know who ZZ Top fan is here. Rob Smoker Roach DeRocha. No, not doing that.
Maybe not.
Don't have that, but I did hang out with Reagan last week.
He also kind of rhymed roach with roach, so
no, I mean that's a done deal. All right, let's go. Let's go with the let's present some rate my boxes. I think I need to add them. I do. But they're here. Let's do it.
For the record, you showed two of my boxes last week, and they got torn up.
Did they?
Well, it was funny. Somebody said how nice the greens were in one, and somebody commented and said they were definitely done by a girl. And I commented, actually, a 350-pound man.
Well, then they must have been really nice. You did a great job. All right. I got to make sure if Bree is still watching, if I don't post it, you better tell me if I did not. All right. Here's a chicken box. We're doing KCBS style. You got about 10 seconds to look at this one. And Gooder Gang, do your thing.
Not to comment on the box, Rob, but they say that thighs look better than legs or whatever. I've seen some great looking leg boxes.
That's a pretty impressive leg box, in my opinion.
Oh, no.
We'll go back to that one. All right, so Gooder Gang is chiming in right now. We got 9, 9, 9, 9. Again, 9 is a perfect score here.
You got an 8 from Tony. That's like a 9 or a 10.
8 from Manuel, too.
He doesn't count.
Tony Peacock's ass. All right. Chris, what do you think of that box?
I think it's 9s all day.
It's 9s for me as well. Good looking box. I don't know whose box that was, but great looking box. If you want to claim it, claim it. Next box, we're going to do this. Present. All right, here we go. It's going to be a brisket box. Here we go. Ty, if you can pull that comment down before I pull this up. I will pull that down in 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. That's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Curtis with an 8. Really, Curtis?
Yeah, what's
9,
Curtis? What's Curtis
9,
looking at?
I don't know. 8. Ooh. Okay. All right. James Minotti. We'll come back to Tony in a moment, but James, explain yourself. I give that a 9 all day long. What'd you think?
Oh, 9 all day. The burn-ins look like they were cut with a laser.
They did. They were
flawless.
I mean, 8 maybe too perfect. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be the comment card you'd get. 8 too perfect.
That would be terrible. If you
I
got
think
an 8,
if I'm being critical, I think you're gonna want to maybe sauce the front of the slices a little more. I think you'll score better, but I don't think it just comes down for appearance on that.
Well, let me put it back up there real quick. I want to see more of the slices. Okay. All right. He's saying that that covered up more of the slices. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you put a row of 6 instead of 8, and then you can see the whole front slice, maybe. But, man, it's a good-looking box.
Tony said ends are too big, and I know Tony's being sincere there. They are large, but...
I think that's the perception of the picture, man. I think you're taking it low from the front of the box, and I think it's distorting the size, honestly.
There are 6 slices behind the 8 burn-ins. I don't know. Should have left slices out. Burn-ins look overpowered. Okay. All right. Let's go with another... We're going with another leg box. Those look great, in my opinion. I think thighs are a little easier to make uniform.
Yeah,
Legs,
I think people worry too much about uniformity, man. I think it just needs to look like you want to eat it.
Okay, that's a good. Hey, from a solid KCBS cook. All right. Let's pull this down real quick. Let's go back to it. I'm sorry, I need to pull that back. Brand, boom. Let's look at some comments. 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 9. That's the frustrating thing about barbecue. Those look great to me. I would score everything I've turned in, or everything I've shown so far to me as a 9.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things too. If you're in person, maybe it looks different. I don't love that layout as much as the first leg box, but I don't see anything about that chicken that makes me think, anything less than a 9.
All right, we got some thighs. A lot of people are going to cook thighs next weekend at the Royal. Here's a thigh box. Here we go. Just from a picture here, a lot of non-uniformity.
Yeah, I don't think they did themselves any favors by where they put them in the box.
Yeah, I think they're shifted a little over right. Maybe it's just the angle of the photo as well.
To be honest, the two smallest thighs are in the middle. If they would have put them in the back, you wouldn't notice how much smaller they are.
There you go. Hey, pro tip right there.
Put it in the box.
Pro tip right there. Hey, that's a good point there.
On
Chris,
the left side, man, you got a big thigh in the back, small in the middle. It makes that one look that much smaller. I think you put it in the back, it hides it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what the Gooder Gang is saying right now. We'll go to some comments right now. We've got 8s. 8 color. Okay. All right. To me, color didn't bother me at all, but okay. ZZ Top fan said it did too. Uneven. Yeah, we saw that. All right. Let's go with the next box. Rib box. We got 8 slices. Ooh, okay. I don't. Me personally, I don't like that box. I don't know whose box it is. I promise you, I don't. What you think, Chris?
I just think they're dark, man.
Yeah,
I think they're dark. I don't love the layout.
A little dark, a little splotchy, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from the picture. Dark.
Ooh, 7. 7. A lot of 7s in this one. Okay. All right. Looks dark.
I think you're maybe an 8 in person. I think this picture's a 7,
Yeah, but not a 9 for you.
No, not a 9.
Yeah. We're striving for 9s here. That's not a 9 as well. Harold Williamson. I got to meet Harold last weekend in Llano. Thank you very much. It was he came up and said hi. Awesome. All right. We got a few more here.
You got a 7.5.
Is that a thing? I don't know. It is. Fucking.
It didn't even make sense, Tony.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, Tony once said so dark it should move to Atlanta. He said that one time, and I got a problem. Somebody got on to me about that one.
And then you repeated it. Good job, Rob.
I know I should not have done that.
Can we edit that out? Oh, we're live.
Yeah. Ty might need to edit that. All right, here we go. Let's go.
For the record, Tony, you probably moved to St. Louis.
See, you doubled down on that, Chris. You should not have. All right, let's go. Pork box.
E.
Is that a good or no?
No.
Why not? Doesn't look bad to me. I don't like. What's that on? That's not kale on the bottom. What is that? Cilantro?
It's parsley, man. Just I think it's not great parsley. I don't like those chunks, man. I don't like it's obviously money muscle cut into chunks, so you're just giving them another option of the same thing. I don't like the alternating colors, the checker pattern. I don't know. I'm not a fan. As far as the meat's going, I mean, I think the meat looks good, right? But I really don't love the layout.
What do you think of that thickness of slice? Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I also think that front left slice is shaped weird. I can't tell if that's slice plus tube that they sliced, and that's why it's kind of has that thing that pokes out there.
It's not a tumor.
I think it probably needs a little more sauce.
Art Deco Lunchables 8. Way too busy. Yeah. Hey, you know what? That could be a problem, right? Way too busy.
Yep.
Layout isn't good. All right,
I don't know if there's anything wrong with the port necessarily, but I don't love the box.
All right, I got to make sure that I get this person's box in. All right, here we go. Did I do it already?
Somebody get mad at you?
No, I wanted to make sure I showcase this one. I might have already done it, but all right, let's go with the next one. We got a couple more here that I can see.
Man, they didn't do themselves any favors on this picture.
Why?
It's just the lighting's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with the box. The lighting.
To me, that color is different, right?
But I think it's the lighting, man. I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to really tell from this picture.
To me, the greens look good. It looks like it's laid out pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with it. I think
in person, I'd probably give this a 9. Looking at a photo, 8.
I think you let Bill Purvis take that photo. It's a 9.
Yeah, Bill Purvis gets a hold of that. That's definitely that's a 10. There we go.
No smoke ring. This guy.
Pretty cuts, benefit of the doubt, 9. Okay, what do you think about the smoke ring, Chris?
I think it's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
What do you think of? What do you think of one when you see it's like over a smoke ring? Like, you know, there's some TQ maybe involved.
I just think, man, I'm in Texas. Too much smoke ring. I'm like, this guy. This guy's using mesquite.
So, what do you think about this one? I mean, this is like, is it? I'm
this
strictly talking
picture,
smoke ring.
This
Strictly
one?
talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
To me, it's like somebody said no smoke ring. I agree with that person. That was mine. Levi, one of the top cooks in KCBS.
When I look at this, I see like no color on the top of the slice. It's just a bad picture, man. I mean, I think, like I said, he didn't do himself any favors by the picture he took.
Levi, if you're still commenting, why do you think it looks so dark on the photo? That's all I want to know. Cooked on cedar, maybe. I don't know. Lighting sucks. There we go. Peter, there it is. Bill needs a filter.
Yeah. He tried to take it in an angle like Bill, but he just didn't succeed.
I tell you what, Bill needs I'm not kidding when I say
Bill,
he needs a filter class.
I was at a comp and I sent Bill a picture and he edited it and sent it back to me. And I was like, man, that's a good box. Whose box is that? And Bill goes, that's yours. I just edited it.
All right, here's a rib box. Looks like we got 4 on top, 2 on bottom. There's 6 right there. Lighting and camper sucks. Okay, there you go, Levi.
Levi, you're rich. Buy a new camper.
All right, Chris, initial thoughts.
I don't love the layout, but I don't see a problem with the ribs.
What do you think of the lightness? It looks like fat.
Yeah, that's just fat on the rib. And I don't know if there's any trimming that out of it either. I think you probably ruin the rib trying to trim that. But I mean, I'm never going to judge somebody down on that. I don't think. I mean, I look at that rib and say, man, I'd eat that rib. And so I think it's a solid 8, maybe 9.
9. Hey, a 9's a great color. I mean, great score. And he said doesn't like the layout. Would Tony say color? It looks like caramel. All right.
Oh, -2.
No, you can't do that. Oh, Jen, as a promoter, you can't do that.
I hope Jen's not judging the Royal.
Jen will not be at the Royal. I talked to her. I asked her, "Are you going to be at the Royal?" She said no. Jen was the one that held the. She was a promoter at the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic.
Oh, very cool.
All accounts. First year event, did a great job. Did you hear any chatter up north about the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic there, Chris?
I heard a lot of chatter.
What'd you hear? We can take it.
Well, the chatter I just heard from people that just kind of some of the judging was all over the place, and there was just some anomalies, and you see some really good teams getting beat up in categories they normally don't get beat up in. And my answer to that is it's a 100-team comp. It's a 100-team comp, a lot of tables, and that stuff's just going to happen.
100%. And first year event, KCBS event. Yeah, we'll attract more certified judges. Hopefully next year. I don't know. It might take, to me, in my opinion, it might take 2 and 3 years to get that over the 50% tile.
You guys have a problem. I talked to Chris Davis about this. You guys have a problem that you don't have enough KCBS events to certify KCBS judges.
Exactly.
And even your events are spread out. Like, in Kansas, the Kansas or Missouri area, there's so many judges that like you're turning people away. You guys just don't even have enough certified.
Yeah.
And if you do, they judge 3 comps a year.
Yeah.
So are they really certified?
No. To me, I think it's, like I said, it's going to take a couple years to figure out and get a baseline even. I mean, 1 year is not going to do it. 2 years, maybe not even. But after that 3rd year, it might improve. We'll see what happens. But everybody's cooking. We're all cooking under the same parameters, right? So everybody, how do I submit boxes? Yes, send them my messenger.
To be honest, you're going to run into a problem with events like that they'll get enough certified judges, but it'll be 100 judges that only judge that event every year. And then, then you're kind of subject to dealing with that too.
She will. Full confidence. Jen Lee will figure it out. All right. Chris Schafer, thank you so much for coming on this show. Let's bring producer Ty back out here. Ty,
what's happening?
What'd you think of our guest tonight? We had Grant, the 2-time, back-to-back. Never happened before.
Yeah, I liked it. That was an amazing story. And then the Pick-a-Palooza's amazing story. The fact that Chris Schafer didn't know about it and he seemed interested. And then at the end, he wanted to judge. Successful show.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Butter just sent me a box that I guarantee you was not his. And he wants me to say, rate my box. No, Butter. That was not yours. No, absolutely. It's always great to have Chris Schafer back on the show. He did not do the KCBS. We got to do the power rankings.
Oh yeah, we got to buzz through that. I don't know how you do that. Do you show up at comps and people hate you because you're power rankings?
Yes.
Yeah. I was doing it.
Do we want to do this right before the Royal?
Let's do it. It's fine. I can explain my.
The Royal reset everything anyway. So
the Royal does. The Royal resets it. All right, Ty. Before we get out, we got about 20. Yeah, we got about 10 more minutes. I'm gonna drop you down, Ty, or you can drop yourself down, and we're gonna do the power rankings.
Can I explain my reasoning?
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm not going to post them until the very end.
So you've explained to me that it's a true power ranking, like the last 6 to 8 weeks of cooking.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And so all I really have to do is go by pure data and wins, and that's where it shakes out. The people that have done the best. And at the end of the day, there are people that either didn't make the list or at the end of the list that I think are going to end up being towards the top for team of the year. You know what I mean? They're having a fantastic year, but I just looked at the numbers for the last 8 weeks and came up with this list.
All right, here we go. The KCBS, Ty, play some music, please. The KCBS Power Rankings. Again, I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on in the KCBS world, but this is why my show partner over here, Chris Schafer, is involved right here. So, again, and Chris is going to explain the power rankings right here. All right, in number 10. And we have, I got to look at what I had last year. It doesn't matter. Janky Leg.
It's very different.
They were number 1, I think.
Number 2, I think. Number 2 or 3.
Number 2. Yep. And they dropped here. We got number 10. All right,
yeah.
Explain.
So if I was to do a list of where I think people will finish by the end of the year, he is number 1 or 2 on the list. Based on the last 8 weeks, Jordan has 1 win, and I think he has 2 RGCs. Yeah, death threats. Thanks, Bill. He's got 1 win and 2 RGCs, but he's finished top 10 12 times. So he's cooking lights out. But I have to go on basically pure wins, and so that puts Jordan number 10. Although I think he's first or second in the country for KCBS.
All right, number 9, we've got Man Meat Barbecue. Go ahead, Chris.
Yep. So Aaron's got a GC and a handful of RGCs. I think 4. I think he has 4 over the past 8 weeks, a bunch of top 10s, and he won his first world championship at the KCBS Invitational.
All right, number 8. I love this name. Good Googly Goo Barbecue.
Yeah, Sid's been on fire. He's got a win, a couple wins, and he's just been doing really well the last few weeks. So had to slide Sid in there.
All right, number 7. One of my good friends, Fergalicious Barbecue.
Yeah, so Fergie, you know, you look at the last 8 weeks, Fergie was kind of up and down. He had some good scores, but he won the last 2 weeks. So he won last weekend. He won the weekend before. So had to slide him in there. The guy's on fire right now.
I got to tell you, Chris, I appreciate what you do right now because you bring facts. You bring stats. You bring facts.
Yep.
Last time I did the Texas Power Rankings, I brought stats and facts. And even still, people are not happy.
Oh, dude, I expect to hear about this a lot, but it is what it is.
Right before the Royal. I love it. I love it. All right, here we go. That was we just did Fergalicious, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Chunky Barbecue, number 6.
Yeah, so Chunky's got 2 wins, and I think they have a couple RGCs as well. I slotted them a little higher just because if you go out to 10 weeks, they have 4 wins. So you cut it off at 8 weeks, they got 2 wins, but the 2 weeks before that, they won. So they're cooking hot.
All right, and number 5. I've heard about this team. I don't know them. I've never met them, but Razor Racks. Tell me about them.
Drew Davis has 3 wins. He has 3 wins over the last 8 weeks, and the guy is just lights out. He's one of those guys, he doesn't chase. He's not worried about it, but I know he's got 5 GCs on the year, but he's got 3 in the last 8 weeks, and Drew's just a monster out of Arkansas.
Awesome. All right, here we go. Number 4, Smoked and Furious.
Yeah, Smoked and Furious has 3 wins over the last 8 weeks and some RGCs, a ton of top 10s. Also, he won his first world championship the first day of the KCBS Invitational, posting a 717 out of 720. It's the highest. It's the highest score in KCBS history.
That's pretty awesome. Really?
Yep. Yeah, it's the highest score in KCBS history.
So nobody's ever had a 720.
No. Donnie Teal had like a 717.1 or something, and I think Kurt had a 717.6 or something. It was insane.
Oh wow, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. That's Smoked and Furious, right?
Yep.
All right, we're getting to the top 3. Chicken and Grinning. Nobody's unfamiliar with this team right here.
Is Chicken and Grinning 3 or are they 2?
3.
3? So Jeff with Chicken and Grinning had 3 wins and I think 2 RGCs over the last 5 weeks. The guy's just been on fire, and he doesn't cook a ton anymore, but he's getting out there cooking some more, and he's winning like crazy.
All right, there he is, Jeff Vanderline, right? All
Yep.
right, here we go. Number 2, Under the Radar.
Yeah, which is a great name for this, right? Allen's got 3 wins and a handful of RGCs. He's actually finished top 10 every one of his comps for the last 8 weeks. Just been on fire. He's a heck of a cook. Great dude.
All right, and finally, number 1, staying in the top spot from last time we had this KCBS Power Rankings is getting basted. Mr. Brad Leininger.
He's a monster, man. He's got 4 wins. I think he's got 2 or 3 RGCs. I think he has. So get this: over the last 8 weeks, he has 13 top 10 finishes. So that's how much this guy's cooking. But he's got 4 wins and a couple RGCs.
It's pretty amazing, and I'm gonna put up the chart right now. There we go, right there. KCBS Power Rankings right now. Here we go, right there. Janky Leg, number 10. Man Meat Barbecue, number 9. Good Googly Goo, number 8. Fergalicious, number 7. We got Chunky Monkey, number 6. Razor Racks, sitting at number 5. Smoked and Furious from number 4. Chicken and Grinning, number 3. Under the Radar, number 2. And number 1, Getting Basted.
So the Chunky is actually just Chunky Barbecue. I will say that. I do want to give an honorable mention. Can I give an honorable mention?
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of snubbed a team on my last power ranking, and I realized it afterwards.
I did too.
Meet Rushmore, my last power ranking, they had won. They had won back-to-back comps, and that was basically like weeks 9 and 10. And then since then, they have another win. So the last 10 weeks, they have 3 wins. When you look at the last 8 weeks, they would have been 11th on this list, but they should have been probably 5th or 6th on my last power rankings. The guy's been cooking great. That's Meet Rushmore.
back up there. It is hard. You know, you're always going to miss a couple or one or two or whatever. Hold on. I got to put this microphone back in my ear or earphone, whatever, headphones in back in my ear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Chris? Chris, can you hear me? No? What happened? Chris, can you hear me? Can you hear me? No?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, Chris is not reacting. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, all right. Well, Chris can't hear me. Maybe you can relay. Can you hear Ty, Chris?
Chris, can you hear me? Can you hear us now?
What just happened? I have no idea. All right, we're going to I guess Chris is out, but we're gonna wrap this show up. Thank you to Chris Schafer from Heavy Smoke Barbecue for coming on. Ty Cobb, producer Ty, as always, you're a rock star. I appreciate you very much. What'd you think, Ty?
I love the way that you guys are riffing off each other when you say the team and he says the color for all of it. And
He's great.
That's good. You guys did good together tonight.
I feel like we always do good together. He's awesome. But hey, man, it's been great. Thank you, Ty. You are not going to the American Royal. I don't think so.
No,
right?
I am not.
All right. However, I will be coming live from the American Royal. Probably.
Well, then I'll be here producing then.
I appreciate that. Ty is going to be here in Houston producing while I am in Kansas going live from the American Royal. I appreciate each and every one of the Gooder Gang for tuning in tonight. We still have 35,000 people watching. We had I think we had a 70,000 limit at the time, but whatever. It's all good. Appreciate you guys tuning in. For Chris Schafer, he's got to go. He's gone. He's gone. I blame him.
Might have lost battery or something. It seemed like it said something like that at the end.
No, I think it was great. Serge, thank you very much for tuning in. Everybody that's saying great show, thank you so much. See y'all in KC. JB, I'll see you next week for sure. Safe travels to everybody that's making the trip up to Kansas City. Wherever you're cooking this weekend, I may be in Leander. I have no idea. I may be in Magnolia. I still have no idea at the moment. Hey, but I appreciate each and every one of you watching this show. And thank you to Grant. Never has happened in the history of the American Royal winning back-to-back on the same weekend.
I'd not heard that story. That was a real cool story, too.
That was a really cool story. And the fact that he didn't go up there with this Billy badass attitude, like I'm hoping to go up there next weekend. We'll see what happens, man. It's good. Hey, everybody, Gulf Coast Smoke, thank you very much. Moley Harden, what up? Curtis McBlain, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody that's still watching 2 hours in. This is Ty, I feel like this is becoming a 2-hour show. What do you think?
I think so. And thanks, Tony Tanache, for the vote of confidence, buddy. I love you too.
We appreciate each and every one of you guys. But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. And we'll be back next Wednesday live, maybe Thursday. We'll figure it out. Live from the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas at the American Royal. We'll be back live. All right, guys. For producer Ty, say hi, Ty.
Hi, Ty.
I'm Robert Rocha. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Tune in next Wednesday or Thursday live from the Kansas City Speedway. We'll be back. We'll see you. We're out.